Hello and welcome to the Easy Auction Business Weekly newsletter. Wow, what holidays these were. I'll be totally honest with you, I was already bored right after Christmas and wanted to get back to the office as soon as possible. Why? Well, I'm kind of a workaholic, so long holidays aren't really suited for me. But most importantly, I wanted to start this year from the best position possible, with fresh ideas, mentally healthy. Yep, I didn't get drunk on New Year's Eve, and all in all, ready to make this year the best in terms of my selling success online. As I told you in December's newsletter, I have some phenomenal plans for 2009, as it will be full of great opportunities, both for my businesses and, of course, for you, my dear subscribers. Already next week, I'll introduce a brand new website where you'll be able to get personal assistance with any business questions you might have directly from me. Yep, you heard that right. You'll be able to ask me anything you want and get detailed, in-depth answers from me for free. There will be some other great stuff as well, so stay tuned for next week's newsletter. Now today I wanted to talk more about the economic crisis and what it really means for internet business owners. Also, I'll give you a chance to win a brand new Apple iPod Touch, but more on that later. Now let's talk more about this economic crisis. Now, when the Christmas madness is over, it's time to think about what you want to do with your businesses, set targets, income goals and future plans in general. In the beginning of this video, I told you that year 2009 will be full of great opportunities for online sellers. I hear you say, what are you talking about? We're in the middle of the biggest economic crisis since the 1930s. Oh yes, the crisis. I thought there's something wrong when I couldn't find a parking space for my car on Christmas Day at my local supermarket. It's a huge crisis. People spend money like idiots. Sorry for the expression, but how can you define it then? And it really doesn't look like we're at the end of this civilization. Or are we? Okay, jokes aside, let's take a look at some facts. UK retail sector in year 2008 actually was heavily affected by the crisis, and sales fell on average by 10% and more across all industries. Some were hit so badly that they went bankrupt. Some went bankrupt because of bad management. Some were just a victim of falling share prices. This is kind of sad, right? Yes, it is indeed. Job losses and everything. But from the business point of view, it may actually not be that bad. You see, when a company like Woolworths goes bankrupt, someone else will take their market share. People will switch to different stores and leave money there. So while Woolworths are total losers in this situation, some others will be in fact winners and will increase their sales because of this process. And this is the number one most important thing that will happen in 2009 in the business world. Only the strongest will survive, and those who will, they're going to get stronger than ever in 2010. They will be the next big players when the economy starts growing again in 2011 or 2012. Just think about this for a moment. We're again in a position where future millionaires will be created. This is the perfect time to start a new business if you know how to do it properly. If you would have known that house prices in the UK would have increased by hundreds of % over the last 15 years, you would buy a house or two in the 90s, right? I thought so. Well, it's that time again to get on board and start building your businesses now, during the economic crisis, so that when it ends, you're already a market leader in your niche. Hope this makes sense. Secondly, and most importantly, while retail sector in general was badly affected by the economic crisis in 2008, and I'm sure will suffer even more in 2009, it's just a number. But did you know that not everyone lost sales in the past year? In fact, there was a category of businesses that increased their sales volume by 2-digit numbers. You guessed it right. While the offline companies are struggling to pay bills and salaries, online sales keep growing each year, and year 2008 was not an exception. Online sales grew by a phenomenal 16%. Here are some interesting data for you to consider. Out of every pound spent by British shoppers, 17 pence is now going to online retailers. £26.5 billion was spent on the internet in the first 6 months of the year 2008, up 38% from 2007. On Monday, December the 8th, people spent £320 million online in the UK alone. More than 50% of adults shop for Christmas presents online. Isn't that unbelievable? I bought almost everything for Christmas online and was very angry when I couldn't find a thing or two to add to cart. Yes, the growth is not as huge as from 2006 to 2007, but still we're seeing a massive growth in online sales, and experts predict that this trend will continue for at least the next 10 years. There are still so many people who don't know what the heck PayPal is, or who have never made a single purchase online. There are still plenty of products that cannot be bought online, especially in the UK. All this makes perfect sense to get into online sales right now. I hope all this makes perfect sense in relation as to why this is the perfect time to start a new online business or expand the current one. Of course, an important factor is money. If you have it, you're in by a far better position than your competitors. If you have money to spend on aggressive advertising to basically kill the competition, this is a perfect moment to do so. Only smart players will survive, so make sure you have a proper long-term strategy in place. Okay, enough about the crisis. Let's talk about some more pleasant things. I would like to ask you something, a small favour you can do for me. Don't worry, it will take just a minute or so and it won't cost you a penny. In fact, in return, one lucky reader will get a brand new 16GB iPod Touch. Here's how to get involved. Just tell me what you would like to see in EAB weekly video newsletters. I want to help you in the best way possible, so please click on the link or wait while the video finishes and redirects you to an online survey form and answer a few questions. This way, I'll know exactly what topics interest you most and I'll be able to help you even more in 2009. Make sure to leave correct contact details, as one lucky subscriber will receive a brand new iPod Touch. The winner will be announced in next week's newsletter. Okay, that's it for today. Hope you enjoyed this year's first newsletter, even though it's the 13th in our series. Have a profitable auction and see you next week.